सरकार ने ये काम किया है तो काफ़ी अच्छा काम किया है, क्योंकि लोगों को राहत होनी बहुत जरूरी है इस टाइम। तो 105 रुपए है इस टाइम, और अगर 9 रुपए होगा तो लोग और भी ज़्यादा खुश होंगे इस चीज़ के लिए। अगर सरकार ये काम कर रही है तो मैं बोलूँगा कि बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है।
नहीं, राहत की खबर है, ये बहुत अच्छी खबर है और मैं समझता हूँ कि काफ़ी लोगों को इससे राहत मिलेगी। बट अभी पेट्रोल और डीजल के दाम और कम होने चाहिए, कि जो पहले थे 65 से 70 रुपए के बीच में, वो आ जाने चाहिए, जिससे सारी चीज़ें, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, भाड़ा, खाद्य पदार्थ, तेल, तो ये सब चीज़ों में कमी आएगी तो काफ़ी लोगों को इससे राहत मिलेगी। और ये मोदी सरकार की बहुत अच्छी खबर है। ये
बहुत अच्छी, बहुत स्वागत योग्य कदम है ये सरकार की, और इससे जनता को कुछ न कुछ राहत पहुंचेगा।
All right, let me quickly cut across to Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs editor, joining us more on that. Rahul, of course, a huge relief undoubtedly to the common man when this ruling is, of course, this decision is implemented. We're going to see at least a drop of 9.5 rupees per litre for petrol and 8 rupees drop in the prices of diesel per litre. Now, of course, the opposition saying that this is merely a ruse to fool people. This is just done only to satisfy people after a steep increase. They're trying to bring it down, which really makes no difference. It's not going to make any change when it comes to expenditure.
Nabila, the opposition has its own economic and political justifications to react in the manner it is. Definitely, yes. If you look at the times still a few years back, the central excise on fuels was not as high. The government has gone in for steady increase in central excise, and the states correspondingly have very high VAT. So if you see the map of India till today morning, out of every 100 rupees which goes into a petrol price, you have 34 rupees going in Lakshadweep or Andaman Nicobar, and you have 52 rupees going in Maharashtra, only to taxes and levies. And that's what the real picture is. If one looks at it broadly, yes, this will definitely bring relief to the Aam Aadmi. One, the direct benefit, those who drive vehicles, those who drive tractors, and you consume petrol and diesel. Now, the second impact will be, because it's primarily positive impact, because they will have more money to put into savings, to put into expenditure on commodities, if they were shortening their budget on something. The second element is the indirect price impact, and that is a huge impact, and as seen recently in the rise in prices of vegetables and flour, wheat flour, which we consume. Almost every household does that. Those prices were mostly rising largely because of the hike in fuel prices. Now, the government, realizing that at this moment inflation is a huge challenge, has stepped in, brought down the prices of petrol and diesel. Now, it will have a slow, but yes, over the next 1 week, you will find that there is a certain amount of cooling down happening. But the opposition has compulsions to criticize, but the government has compulsions which are beyond politics, also economic. Now, the problem for the government is that there is no assurance that the fuel price or crude prices internationally will remain the same, given the international scenario because of the Ukraine-Russia war. It's a volatile situation. One, the government had to account for that. Second, it may get a bit of Russian oil, but it does not really dent the picture. Also, the prices of almost every commodity abroad, mineral, fertilizers, sunflower oil, palm oil, everything is in short, and also everything's prices is rising. The government has to look at those factors. Coal prices in the international market rising. Now, in that scenario, the government has to tackle inflation, but also ensure that there is no shortfall in demand and manufacturing and other economic activities. And that is why the government, buoyed by the collections from GST, which have been the highest ever this month, for the month of April, and also a slightly improved picture as far as the direct taxes are concerned in the last fiscal. The government feels that it had that elbow room to provide a certain amount of relief. And that is why I will call it a limited relief, but relief still. And that is why, if you see, not all LPG subsidies are back, but it is only the Ujjwala Yojana subsidies for 9 crore people. Farmers are being given no direct dole. it is an increase in subsidy, which will definitely help the farmers, because it's been a tough couple of months because of the heat wave. Production has already gone down. So what the government has done, increased subsidy by 1.1 lakh crore, so that for the next crop, we may have happy tidings. So what one can say is a very tightrope walk the government has walked as far as the economics of fuel and several other measures is concerned, and also definitely political. Remember, inflation, if sustains itself for a very long time, it does have a negative political impact. For a certain time, people tolerate it, but after that, it becomes a political baggage. And that's why the government, it seems, has acted now.
All right. Rahul, thank you very much for joining us on that. But do stay with us. Of course, we're tracking those developments. We know that reactions have come in on the same. Undoubtedly, big relief coming in for the common man here. The centre has announced steps that will reduce fuel prices across the country. Central excise duty on fuel has been slashed, which means petrol prices will now dip by 9.5 per litre, diesel by at least 7 rupees per litre. Not just that, a subsidy of rupees 200 per gas cylinder has also been announced. But the opposition from Randeep Surjewala to Sharad Pawar has hit out at the centre. Surjewala has claimed the numbers do not indicate any major relief and is merely a ruse to dupe the common man. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has announced these measures, saying that it was done in the interest of the poor and the middle class. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the call was made to further boost ease of living and lend positive impact and relief to various sectors. These steps by the centre will have a domino impact on transportation costs as well as cost of essentials.